You know, some of you aren't in a position to say that, but as an opposition member, I can. So I'm saying it because, you know, I want him to know my views as a member who deals with housing every week. It's the biggest thing I deal with, and I want him to take those views on board. On a more positive note, I really welcome this report. Actually, I can sense there's a lot of work gone into it. It's covered an awful lot of issues, and I think it reflects the picture that we all deal with. You know, just last night I went home from here, go home, and there's a message for me. Somebody's due to be made homeless. They're being sent to hospital. It's a big issue, and I think the seriousness of the issue is captured in this. So I welcome that. I have got a couple of points that I want to make to sort of try and improve it if we can. I think when we talk about housing, it can be very easy to say actually the solution is more houses. And, you know, we need houses, people go in, but actually there's a lot more things that we could be doing and society generally could be doing. We've heard about the void rates for flagship, but the empty properties in the district actually are quite numerous. Actually, there's a property in my ward in the middle of the terrace. It's been empty for 8 years. It's a 3-bedroom house. You know, I can't believe that I have to deal with homelessness one day and then people are still ringing me up about an empty property. We have empty rooms. Something we'll talk about in a second is about, you know, we have an awful lot of properties where there's people in them on their own, actually with empty rooms, and with the government changes to tax in relation to people renting out spare rooms in their house. I'm not sure why we're not making more of that. I think it's a massive opportunity, actually. I say that as somebody who's got a 4-bedroom house and rents out both my rooms for that very purpose, partly to ease my conscience, but also because it makes sense to do that. So, you know, spareroom.co.uk, why aren't we doing a Breckland version of that, where we're matching people, single people who we know could go into properties and match them with people who've got spare rooms. And we've also got issues with second homes, but also brownfield development as well. Much rather than focus on that before we go down the route of building on greenfield sites. Home ownership is good. The aspiration to own one's own home is good, and I really like there's the emphasis from the government on that, and I think that's encapsulated in this report. You mentioned right to buy, but you didn't talk about help to buy. Lord knows what the government's doing with help to buy, but I thought it was a very good scheme. Some councils are doing their own version of help to buy, where they're providing sort of interest-free loans and that sort of thing. So has that been considered? What the report doesn't talk enough about for me is about the housing mix. So one of our biggest problems, as I think it was Roy mentioned earlier, the right people in the right houses. You know, there are so many examples in my ward of single people in 3-bedroom houses. There was a 93-year-old lady in a 3-bedroom house, huge front garden, huge back garden. She had to go up the stairs on her hands and knees because there were no bungalows available. You know, it's absolutely crazy that we're still having to deal with this. Page 40 talks about the 7-to-1 ratio between wages and average house prices. Is there any information about the ratio between wages and rent prices? Because one of the biggest issues, and it talks a little bit about in the report, why we have so many people wanting social housing. They're in work, but the wages are so low across Breckland, they can't even afford the rent, let alone buy a house. You know, and that's one of the major issues we've got. Yes, we need to work to increase wages, but the rents are out of control. You know, my mortgage on my 2-bedroom house before I moved was £300. Once I moved out, the rent was £700 a month. You know, it's absolutely crazy. So that's one issue. High rents, banks won't lend, can't raise deposits. I don't think some of that's encapsulated enough for me in this report, so I just wondered if you had some comments on that. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind comments. I entirely agree on your point concerning empty properties. I think there's an acknowledgement that there is more we can do around empty properties. We have a scheme which might be better to see and allow us to talk through.
Thank you, Councillor. Afternoon. Absolutely, empty properties has been something that I've considered since my time at Breckland. We will be shortly looking at a restructure of the housing service, where we'll look to bring in specialised officers, including an enforcement service, so that we can take a more proactive approach to empty properties. I guess for me it's about taking that targeted approach. We need to find out where these empty properties are and then working with them specialisms to ensure they're brought back into use.
In terms of the points on spare rooms, I think